Boom. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Wednesday, April 12th edition of Morning Mindset. Hopefully, you are having an amazing day. Remember, when you get in here, check in. Let us know where you're from, what's in your cup, and how the weather is in your area. So, we're still on our monster kick. So, we're still got the white monster. Temperature, it's like 62 out. It is absolutely gorgeous outside. So those are things that we have looking up to. That's things we got going on today. So tell me, how are you doing today? The other thing is five things. What are five things that you are going to accomplish today? And I'll be honest with you, I haven't written my five things yet, and we'll get into why, and hopefully you can understand. But it's been a week, and yeah, I'm not sure how much more to explain to that, but it has been a costly week for us. And yeah, so we got that going. So let's check in and see how people are doing this morning. Darren, more to you, little like I can see the signal doing a little wonky thing up there, which is weird because it's plugged in. So good morning. We got for whatever reason that signal is on. So Pilar, good morning to you. What's up, Chuck? Good morning to you. Kelly, good morning to you. Kelly is on my five things today. Kelly ordered tattoos, and before, and don't take this wrong, Kelly, but normal people don't order as many as you did. So I didn't have all the material because we only keep so much in stock. So we ordered that. That is out for delivery right now. So as soon as it gets in here, we get to print Kelly's order out to her. Good morning to Renee from sunny and unseasonably warm Chicago. You're right, 62 on the way to 81. Oh, I know, I can't wait. It'll probably snow next week. I think I saw highs of like 60 next week, but that's what it'll feel like. Water in the bottle, coffee in the cup. And it looks like it should be a pretty nice weekend, right? For Friday and Saturday for Dax Tinley Park. So if you're in the area, are you going to Dax Tinley Park? Let me know if you're going there this weekend. Kelly said, warming up here in Cali went from really cold and wet to hot in the afternoon. Water in the cup. Kelly, it did the same thing here. We had snow, 6 inches of snow not too long ago and cold. And, then we had storms last week that knocked us out of commission for a few days. And then now this week it's in the 80s. So, yeah, good times. Good times are had by all this week. Good morning, Barb from North Central Minnesota, 46, as we head to low 60s and sunny. Ooh, yeah. Barb's been dealing with like single digits, so that's got to feel amazing, right? That's what I said, Pilar, right? Pitcher is great, but you're a max head for me. Well, we'll see how this plays out. We'll see how it goes. Barb's five things. Quote, digitizing a couple logos, scheduling out for next week, straighten office, respond to customer inquiries. That sounds like a great five things. So my five things off the top of my head is I know there's emails I need to get to. There's quotes I need to get to. There's signed vinyl I need to cut. There's HTV I need to cut. And there's some quotes I need to give. If you notice, I did not say DTF in that. And here's why. We don't know if something happened with the storm last week. Remember, that came in swift. But we started having problems with our DTF printer late last week. And it was just being wonky on the white, which is a common problem on DTF printing. White is wonky. It just, you just kind of have issues with it. And I got it somewhat going on Friday, and all right, cool. Everything was fine and dandy there. And then Monday it was being a little more wonky, but I powered through it. And by the time Tuesday rolled through, because what's today? Today's Wednesday, right? Yeah. Wait, no. Today's Wednesday. Yesterday was Tuesday. So Monday, I powered through it, but it was just a nightmare. And so I said, you know what? I think it's just I got a bad print head. I think something happened. It's just time to get a new one. But at this point, it was too late in the day for me to order one and have it shipped the next day. So that meant I wouldn't have got the new print head till today. So I called and was like, hey, you haven't stocked. What's the earliest someone is there? Can I run down and grab one? And they said, sure. Somebody's usually here, 7 or so. So they're, a little over an hour and a half from me. So I headed down there on Tuesday morning, got a new head, and that was great. So let's go through stuff first off, stuff we need. So got a new head for that. Now, mind you, for a DTF printer, a head's about $1,400. So awesome, you got that right off the bat. I had issues with Dirk and him not printing correctly, and I knew the print head was dying in that. So I pulled the trigger and bought a new one of those. Now a new print head for that is about $650. So I bought a new print head for that on Friday. That showed up yesterday, and that was going to be my today, was change out the print head in Dirk. Okay. So anyway, so there was $600, and then now $1,400 on this other print head. So now in a matter of 2 days, I spent $2,000 on parts. So come to tomorrow afternoon, I get it and I put in, and I'm not getting anything. Like, what's going on? Called up the tech, and he's like, check cables, did this, check that. Okay, so we checked that. It's still nothing there. Still printing out the CMYK, but it's not printing out on the color. So I'm like, okay, well, what the hell is going on? So went back and forth to try a few things and couldn't get anything really to work. And so it was like, well, here's what's happening. It's either the print head got fried. So mind you, brand new print head. The headboard is bad. So it's a headboard. Or it could be a combination of both. The headboard went bad and it took out the print head on it. So worst case scenario, okay? So sent him a message, be like, okay, where do we go from here? And this morning, he got back to me and said, hey, give me a call. Let's go over stuff. So I called him up. He said, flip the cables around. So your CMYK sends a signal to the white head, and the white sends it to CMYK. He goes, this way we'll be able to test, if it's a board or if it's a head or what. So swap that around, and this time CMYK did not print, but white printed, but it was a solid white. And it should, if you do nozzle checks, you know what nozzle checks should look like. So what does that mean? You guessed it. I need a new print head board, and I need another new print head. So about $2,000. So that means in a matter of a week, I will have spent $4,000 on parts. So needless to say, there is no rush DTF printing right now. Now, the good thing about this, is that we're still able to do DTF printing, working with our vendor, which that's the great thing about when you buy from US-based vendors, you ask, what are the contingency plans if something happens? So what happens? They're going to print for us. What does that mean? That means I'm making crap for money. We'll pretty much break even on every order, but we're going to fulfill every order. But I cannot offer a rush service because they have a schedule too, so I can't force their schedule. If I tried to, then I would lose money on every job because of the rush services with it. The good thing is we were going to stop taking orders tomorrow anyway, because we're going to be gone for the weekend and not process anything until Monday. So where that helps us is, best part, the print head board, there's none stateside. We couldn't find any. So everything's got to come from China. And it's like 2 weeks out. Choice, right? But my technician, amazing technician Jay, he said that he'll pull the print head from one of his machines, send that to me. It probably won't be until this weekend or Monday. So he'll send that to me, and then we'll be able to get up faster. Then the new one will ship to me, and then I'll ship him his back. So nice chain of command there. Should work out beautifully. Can order up a print and have it be here. But in that meantime, I'm going to have somebody else print for me. So there won't be any rush services. I just can't force that. So I made sure I put that note on there yesterday when we had issues that there was no rush services. And it is shipping. We can do that once it gets here. So standard production is 3 to 5 business days. Just know that it's 3 to 5 business days. So if you order today being Wednesday, your order Thursday, Friday, and Monday, it's probably not going to go out until Monday, just because we're closed on Friday. We're doing half day tomorrow. So that's the case with that. But we're going to do our best to do everything. But yeah, it's awesome if anybody knows me, it's been an amazing last about 6-7 weeks. So Yeah, it just keeps coming. I don't, I, yeah, well, we'll check in. Let's see how everybody feels about that and how he's doing that. Let's see. And he said, looks like rain starting later on Saturday. Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Mm. Oh, yeah, just in time for everybody to load. And that means if it's coming that way, just in time for me to drive through it. Good morning, Dawn. Kelly stuff. Gather items for an asparagus festival. Ooh, I bet. What is it? Makes your pee smell, right? Is that asparagus? Print banners, engraving like crazy, t-shirts, banking, and invoicing. Love it. Don's got 25 shirts, 15 tumblers, 12 mugs, 10 mouse pads, 15 car freshies. Great. And good morning, Facebook user to you. Is that George? Yeah, George. So here's the thing: if you emailed me in those prints, if you need those, I can get them. But if you need them fast, I don't know how soon you need them. So that's where I'm stuck at right now with a lot of stuff. Renee, run new patches for me. She's doing that. Office supply, restock shopping, fun. Call with a prospective client. Finish engraving cup order. Prep transfers for pressing. Love all that. Love that. Love that. And that does sound awesome, doesn't it? Yeah. Oh no. Right. Oh no. Yeah. Yeah. And the joys of running a business. That's the thing is that's what I went through last night, where it was like, I just didn't. I had a conversation with Renee last night. She called to see how things were going, and I was just like, you know what? Maybe I'm just done with it all. Maybe and I go through that. I think we all do when you're self-employed. You're like, it'd just be easier to go work for somebody else. You collect a paycheck, you just go work, and that's it, right? Here's my hours. There's going to be a paycheck at the end of it. When I leave work because as a business owner, you don't really have any set hours. You're working as many hours in the day as it takes to get jobs done. You try and schedule stuff off to be done by certain times or be off to make sure you hit things and that. But at a 9 to 5 job, you go in, you're there 9 to 5, and that's it. And there's plenty of happy people. And we had that conversation last night. So I'm like, I'm just going to see what's out there. And like some of the stuff that you can do, especially remote, where you don't have to go in anywhere, and the money that you can make, I'm like, that is not a bad gig. So it took some real searching and thinking of like, what do I want to do? And then, I always come back to, yeah, but for what this is, I can make that in a day. I have the freedom to make the schedule. I can, like this weekend, we're going to Dax. So just take it off. We're leaving Friday. We're going up there for the weekend. We've got, I think we're going to try and do skills in Atlanta. That's like 2 or 3 days. Boom, that's out. So I can go there when there's different trade shows. When we look at, in November, we got the Disney cruise. We're looking at Long Beach again in January, maybe Vegas in February, and then a trip at the end of February. I'm like, I couldn't do that. Why? I don't have that much vacation. So it's like, oh, all that would stop. And because I could still do the business on the back end, just how I was before, as a side business, and be very selective on what we do. And then, because remember when we made the leap, that was the big thing was I was working, 7 to 4. And then when everything from there, I was working, basically from 5 to midnight every night. And I didn't have any time for the family, and that's why I was like, wait a minute, I'm doing this wrong. I don't have the time for the family. So why am I doing this? And that's when it was like something had to give. And the day job was it because I really love doing this. So now, I fall back in that, especially, with the way that everything's going, it's tough to say, I'm just not sure. So yeah, that's kind of where yeah, man, it sucks, Rye, and it could be, I could have screwed up the print head installing it. I could have, I don't know, anything could have happened, and it just is what it is. So that's why when people are like, oh, I want to get into detailed printing, I want to do that. I'm like, don't forget about, the heartache to it and the pains and when things go wrong, and look at what your head costs. I mean, this will be one. Let's see. This will be head 1, 2, 3. This is our fourth head. Wait, well, these 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 or 5 heads, that we've had, because we had some issues when we first got it and everything was taken care of then. And then we replaced one, what was it? Christmas or no? January, somewhere around there. No, Christmas. Yeah, I think around Christmas we replaced one. And then, here here we are now, replacing two. So yeah, good times all the way around. Ouch is right. Yeah. I got my new Roland VS300, but the tech didn't know it was a basement carry, so now it just sits in my garage all lonely. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, when are they supposed to come back for it? Yeah, it does suck. It does suck. Uh, will they do anything about your money out? No, I mean, because it's not their fault. It's an electrical problem. It just that's what it is when you go on this. I'll call them and be like, "Hey, is there any kind of deal you can cut me on this?" Just it doesn't hurt to ask. All I can say is no. But yeah, what do you do? It's just it's par for the course for being a business owner. Luckily, that they've got the money there. But if I didn't, what would I do? Right? Like what would I do? Dropping realistically, it's what would we say $4,000 on parts in the last week? Like that's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. Harry, good morning to you. Glad that they're able to sub out a board and head for you as a patch while you wait for the new one. Yeah, and that's the thing is I'm just waiting on it. It is what it is, right, man? Like we'll wait on it. We'll go and there, but they said they are going to help me with printing. So that's a plus. And on the am I and I'm breaking even, so I'm not losing money. We did rush, we would surely be losing money, but I wouldn't. It would not be a sustainable model unless I raise my prices. Because I even thought that I said, well, I don't know. If I just did that, because what their shipping rates are different than my shipping rates, and that's where a lot of things can get eaten up at. If their shipping rate, their minimum shipping is a $15, and mine is a $10, and I charge, let's say you just order, 5 foot of material, at $25, you get that, you're at 35. Well, if they're shipping at 15, that already cuts $5 off of that. Now, with they're printing me, I'm losing money on those orders, so I can't have them direct shipped. So what I can do is I can batch files all day long, send it, they'll print, and then I can break everything down here and send it. So that saves me on one shipping charge, because then I only have the one coming to me and it can get dispersed throughout the orders. So I have that to look forward to, and to know that it's only a week, right? And there's other things that we have going on here, with other jobs and stuff that's coming in, which that's the thing, when we look at it, our business is very DTF dependent. That's what we turned and pivoted to in 2020. And looking back on it, that was a great choice at the time. I let some of the other parts of the business fall to the side. The signs, the banners, the decals, all that stuff that we were, really hitting hard before. When DTF took over, it was like, hey, okay, that stuff's still there. So we did it, on occasion when people wanted it, but we didn't really push any of it. And guess what you're going to see pushed over the next week as we're waiting for this? Signs, banners, decals. You're going to see all that. We're going to get Dirk back up and running today. He should be printing magnificently, and then we can offer those things back in and do it there, because I have somebody that'll sub out that stuff too. I can make okay money, but they have a different printing structure than I do. So some of the orders, it just doesn't work for me to send there. So that's what we got, right? No worries, Dad. Just take the hits. Yeah, that's all we can do is just take the hits and keep coming. Time off. You mean when you're sleeping? I don't even know if I sleep anymore. Monday night when I had that issue, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna leave here by by roughly 6, so I can get there between 7:30, depending on traffic. I was in bed Monday night, probably about 11:30 or so, and then I woke up at 12:15, like wide awake, and I was up for like a half an hour, and then I slept for about 45 minutes, and that was all my night, where it was just a series of naps, and I never really got to sleep. You know what happened last night? Same thing. It was probably about 11:30, and then it was what? It was probably 1:30 when I got up, and then 2:30, and then 3:30, and then 4:30 when I got up. That's when I saw a message from my tech, because he's on the East Coast and he was flying out this morning. So he got to me, before, on his way to the airport, so we could kind of collaborate things back and forth. So I've been up since then. So another night of not sleeping there. Much easier. Yeah, so much joy running the business. Yeah, and I guess, Don, so much easier when you're working for somebody else, right? Yeah, 100%. Just you go in there and show up. I work remote, so Facebook user, not sure who you are, so let me know who this was. I work remote, but sometimes I hate being stuck at my desk. Feel like I could be doing other stuff for my business during downtime. Yeah, and that's the thing, like when I had the day job, I dabbled on some of the stuff for my side hustle. And it was because that's when order cutoffs or things were in there. So it was on breaks, order stuff, answering emails, things like that. But it was tough to juggle both of them. This client told me to be done by 8 a.m. tomorrow. I told him noon. He said his feelings are hurt, not thinking about him. I said, fine. Peace out, right? Here's my schedule. You don't want to go to somewhere else. That's what I've been doing a lot of that other stuff where it's just, hey, um, I've picked and choose the customers and clients that we've wanted to have over the years. Why? Because I don't want that. I don't want a customer telling me when you're going to have my stuff done. No, here's when we'll have it done for you. Now, in the exploratory thing of when you're sitting down and you're going over a project, hey, what's your in-hand date? What's the due date? What are all those there? That's when they can set their stuff. They can't come in and say, hey, I need this tomorrow by 9. Hey, man, that's not the way I work. Like, we can do that, but here's the cost associated with that. You're looking at 100% markup because you need it within 24 hours or you need it the same day. Hey, you don't realize that, there's jobs ahead of yours that you got to work on. So definitely, yeah, I'm not down with that. I think maybe down the road you'll have extra parts in stock. Well, and I don't think so, because here's the thing is, like, even a print head, do I want to, there's 2 of them in there. Do I want to drop, $2,400 on print heads when they are, when they're, an hour and a half away? So I could drive down and get one and be out of work, 3 hours, or like I said, get up in the morning and just a little earlier, go down and get it. Cause I was back here before I was back here. Let's see, I left about 6, a little right around 6, and I was back here by 9:15. So not a whole lot of out time from it. Right. So I can run down and get stuff. They're a 1-day ship on all their parts. It's just right now, some of the parts aren't in stock, and a headboard isn't a common part to have. Heads, yes. And with there being a 1-day ship or going down to pick up, hey, if I'm down for a day, it's not that big of a deal, right? So boom, and get it. It's tough. That's like you on the laser side. Would you keep an extra laser tube? Some people do, but a lot of people are like, how long is it going to take me to get one? I can get one tomorrow. All right, cool. I don't need that because I can get it there. You look at some of those things, and on the print side of it, that becomes consumable. So I probably should, but I need to build that nest egg up more to be able to do things like that, because it's tough to say, yep, we're gonna do this when it's an hour away. The other thing is, we've got DAX this weekend, and one of the things that we're going to talk with one of our vendors about is, going to the bigger dryer on the DTF side. So that will open up a lot more opportunity for some of the people that don't want the smaller gang sheets. So then it'll be a 22 by 60 and a 22 by 120. Which I can offer now, because they said, just when I talked to my vendor, he said, just offer it now, we'll print for you. And I thought about that, but I'm like, the money isn't there for it quite yet. So I got to look and see what I can really be at with that, because sometimes it's just not worth it. But being able to offer that and here, that'll pick it up. That's one of the reasons that we held off on the VIP group, is because I was waiting to see on this dryer what we can get that, because like that VIP group, I get 15, 20 people in there, then I will make sure to look at bringing in parts, because that's going to be a recurring revenue stream. Recurring revenue helps you set goals to know what to buy, what to pay for, what to do, and it really helps out with your overall budgeting. So maybe I should do it, but right now I hate it. God, I love this. I absolutely hate DTF printing. It is not for me. It is so time consuming, right? Like, people don't seem to understand that. They think, one, especially on the converted side, oh, I can get a converted printer and I can get everything I need, software and all, for like $3,000. Yeah, you're also only printing like 5 feet an hour. So if you have 50 shirts to do, how long is that taking you to do? 10 hours to print, right? And you're using a converted printer, so you're going to have more issues than that. Like, I believe you have the Omni, which the jury's out on that. Some people say it's the greatest thing ever, and some people say it's the greatest ripoff ever. That the support on it was horrible. That the after the sale stuff, it was just garbage, and they're just it's not for them. And that's the thing is, chasing that shiny object. Here, this is what we need. Can we get this? Can we move this about? Are we able to do stuff? Hey, it's not for everyone, and that is God's honest truth. And I almost think that anybody that buys one needs to buy two, so you don't run into this issue. So that's my other thing. Okay, do I look at like Mike? I wouldn't feel uncomfortable buying this one direct from China. Why? Because I already have one. So doing that. But is it something that you should do? I mean, having two means if one goes down, you always have one. But it also means it's double the investment on stuff. So it's tough to see. It's really tough to see. And yeah, right. You get that on me. It's definitely looking forward to the heartaches, man. It's tough. Well, and that's the thing is it's got to be so consistent. You can let this sit for 3 or 4 days and you have no issues with it, and they're full of crap. Like if you're lucky, you'll have that. But a lot of times, you're talking if you let it sit more than a weekend, when you come in, there's issues. And that's wet capping. That's what everything. It's just the white ink. White ink's the devil, man. White ink is the devil. Oh no, you told me no. Order my prints. Probably save my business. Oh no, you told me no. Order my prints. Probably save my business. Oh, order your prints. Yeah, save your business, right? Because that's the thing is getting it. I think this is where we're going with it. Is getting a printer versus having somebody else print for you. Is it worth it there? Yep. And here's the thing. Renee brings up a great point with it. Cost plus travel time and gas to get parts there. So, let's say, I filled up when I was down there. There was gas in it, but I filled up and it was like $60 to fill up. I've got 3 hours round trip in it. So, 3 hours at $125 an hour is 375. So let's just call all in. It's, $450, right? How many trips do I got to make to do it? Because, print head wise, is it worth waiting to the next day? That's where it comes in at. Now if we were doing a profit of, let's say, $10K a month, and we had that in profit, absolutely, I'd make sure to hit what other parts do I need and have it here, so if we run into anything, it's just ready to go. But being a 1-day ship, here I need it, and by not over promising and under delivering, that's the other thing too. I can make things work and be able to do it and be like, okay, cool, we're just set and done with this. So yeah, you go back and forth. Raise them, right? Raise them prices. Absolutely, raise them prices. Jerry, thanks for stopping in. Yeah, also need 2 or 3 machines down the road. Yeah, that's the other thing. It's not a bad idea to have multiple machines, because what happens when something like this happens? We've seen it in the laser. We've seen it in the 3D side of things, where people have the 3D farms where they're running 2 or 3 different ones. You're talking those machines, are $2,500 each, or $250 each. So it's not a big thing. On the laser side of it, I know people that are running multiple glow forges. Those are $3,000 each. When you're looking at the wide format DTF printer, you're talking $25,000. So here now to drop another $25,000, that's a tough cookie to swallow. Especially, and I would if we had the production to back it up. If we were running 6 to 8 hours consistently Monday through Friday, and I had to stay later, and that's what it was, absolutely. Then it's like, yep, time for machine, because I can show the volume there. We're just not there yet. And it comes in stages, and that's a lot of the business side of things. It just comes in stages. How long have I had it? We've had this one just a little over a year. We got it in March. Got it in March, had some issues with it, and that was when it was first delivered. They took care of everything there. Print heads are consumable, especially white ones. White and print heads don't go together. You got to make sure your temperature is right, your humidity is right. There's so much with it that you got to make sure it's there. White print head, it depends how much you're printing. 6 months, year, you just got to factor it in that you're going to be buying one down it. Yeah, congrats on the business, Don. Right, due date was last Friday. Due date was last Friday, due tomorrow. I've been working nonstop. I don't get out of bed till noon after this kind of order. Oh, I don't blame you there. GPK from Sweden, good afternoon to you over there. 2-hour-old puppies. Oh, well, see, puppies makes everything everything right there. 5 feet an hour. Stop picking on those BN20 owners. But here's the thing: he's like, your BN20, you may get 5 feet an hour, but you can do a lot more with that. Printed HTV, you can do sign vinyl, you can do window perf, you can do clear, you can do a lot with that. With a DTF printer, it's a one-trick pony, right? Then this is people were like, hey, are you going to get into UV, DTF? And I want to, but you're going to run into that same issue, same head, same all of that. So it's scary. It's scary to think about dropping that in there. Man, this is scary. I haven't even turned on my machine yet. I told you back in, back in, what was that? Was that December when you were talking about it? I'm like, I'd get any of them but that one. So hopefully your support is better after the sale. I did see you posted a video that Omni sent a fix for it. So that's great. Now I need to go back and watch that. I started to watch it last night, and then somebody stopped by the house, and then I didn't. So I'll have it on my list to do there. BN20 for life. Yeah. Yeah, my job on Monday at 5 foot an hour would have taken data print. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, on some of them, and that's on the high side. There's some that are taking like 13 minutes to print. Like a 12 by 12. So you're getting 4. Like when we did the P600s, P800s, we could get size 10 12 hour. So when you look at 10 to 12 feet an hour, okay, that helps. You're able to go through it, but it's still the machine. Those converted printers are not meant to print all day long. It's not. They were, as regular. I was going to hear and see, head overheating, things like that. Now with us, we print, between 50 and 60 square feet an hour. That's where we're at with it. So it was a huge difference for us. We had 2 of the P600s, which I got 3 of them here. They all have issues with it. I should just bundle it up and sell them all. Like, here you go, fix them at your thing. No warranty. And, I had 2 of them that were working, and there's issues that could probably be fixed with them all. So enjoy that. But yes, we got that there. And what was I going to say? Oh, but we were doing, between 10 and 20 feet an hour, and we had both of them going. So jumping up to 50 was a huge thing. I couldn't imagine going from a 5 foot to 50. And my thing is, I've only got a 2-head one. Go to a 4-head, and you're able to double your, almost double your speed up there. Let's see. Yeah, this is the real, right? Yeah. I mean, yeah, it sucks. Yeah, BN20 buddies. So yeah, this is the real part of being a business owner. I get so discouraged when I see people post, like everything is always perfect. Everything is always great. Nothing ever goes wrong. This is my life. They live that Instagram fantasy because they don't post when things go bad. They don't post when things are wrong. It's always there. So you look at it and you're like, God, it'd be perfect. Why can't I be like that? Why, what am I not doing to be like that? Well, you're not doing anything wrong. They're only posting the good, the perfectly, placed object with the perfect photograph with perfect. They're not showing you, the 18 people they have behind the scenes to make that one photo good. They're not showing you their team of 20 that's doing all of their social media, that's doing all their posting, that's doing everything. They're not showing you, the amount of money that they're spending per month on that team to do it. You just think that they're doing it. And that's where, it sucks because we have this false sense of accomplishment where it's like, God, I need to do that, like nothing happens. And that's why, I've always told you guys, I have no problem telling you, when things are bad, when things are good, this is a downtime for me, those mentally, physically, business, like even though business was up over our first quarter over last year, and a big part of that was because in the fourth quarter, we made a goal to push DTF. And remember, we hadn't had DTF in the first quarter of last year. Is that right? Yeah, we did, but not at the production that we were doing because we've had DTF since 2020, but we really didn't start pushing it until 22. Yeah, somewhere right there. So we weren't pushing it the way we were. So of course the number is going to be high, but I've seen that number drop compared to where we were. And a lot of it is because we don't offer the bigger sheets. So that's where I knew it was time. That was the next thing to get. I mean, I think for what I've spent in parts the last week, I could have bought a dryer, right? I could have bought a dryer for it. And if I buy a dryer, then I'm tapped. I'm tapped out. There's no extra money to get into stuff to do stuff. So it's scary. It's like, how do I do this? And so I'm like, okay, what can I do to generate more revenue? Well, I'm going to really push on our printed side of things, on the banners, the signs, the decals, things like that, yard signs, anything that we can really crank out on those. So that way it can supplement it, and I can start building that safety net back up, because it is scary, scary, scary. Free. I got my second rolling for that reason. What if one goes down? And see, I was at that where what if one goes down? Like right now, I have one down. Ours is down. It needs a new print head today. But on the flip side of it, I've got a local person that will print for me. The big difference is they do everything by square footage. So on somebody and it's a minimum run of the length. So if there's 52 inches is there by a foot. So that means every job has to be 4 foot by 1 foot. Otherwise, it's not worth doing. So let's just say if it was $5 a square foot, that's a $20 job that's going through there. If whatever it is that somebody sent me, if it doesn't at least double that, it's not worth me doing, because I'm losing money on it. So yeah, we try and figure stuff out, but we should be back online with the rolling today for it. Since sublimation is big for me, have 3 sub machines. Yeah, and that's the thing, is when you find out what your niche is and what's good for you, you must have to have multiples. Even for us on sublimation, we started looking at, okay, who are our friends that are within a day shipping of us that offer transfers. Because one, they can produce them faster and cheaper than what we can on ours. And why? Because they run the wide format stuff. So we have friends that are within so we have one that's local that does really good on the soft substrates because of the paper they use. So anytime that we'll need that, we'll reach out to them. We have another one that their main thing is hard goods. We're talking mugs, keychains, tumblers, coasters, ornaments, things like that. So they have their settings dialed in for that. Perfect. Let me order transfers. So it's just trying to figure out the best way to do it. Heat presses, totally agree with that. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 5 clamshell heat presses. Is that right? 1, 2 of the 12 by 12, 1 15, 2 15 by 15s, 1 16 by 20. So yeah, we've got 5 of those. And that really comes in handy when it comes to production time. And that's why I was, here's the other thing, spending money on parts, where that money came from? That was my slide press. That's what we were looking at getting, was the shuffle press that goes side to side that Rise got. It was like, oh yeah, I have it in there. Let's go ahead and get that because we're converting out the garage to, another shop. And so I'm like, yep, it'll fit perfectly in there. Let's do it. And that's the other thing, adding to it. We were going to start the conversion on the garage to shop, but hey, taking $4,000 away from that budget, that puts a damper on things. So we'll see where it all sell them for parts. Well, that's the thing, is they're not really the best for parts, because yes, they would be great for parts because the heads are bad on them, so you need new print head in it. So you're going to spend $600 for a print head on each one of them. But I think one has a carriage issue. One is just a parts rig, so there's not a whole lot left off of it. But the other ones I think just need heads and maybe some minor stuff. So I mean, for $1,000, you could get into it and have a good time there. Wait, you're telling me I should have got a 4-head? Dang, yeah. Here's why I didn't go with a 4-head, right? That's 4 times the problem. It's also twice the cost. Twice the amount of heads, twice the cost for it. Going from 25,000 to 45,000. That's a crazy number to me. I just didn't want it to. I know. I couldn't make that much investment on a new technology that wasn't proven on there, because you're going to pay on it for 5 years, and what happens at the end of the 5 years when it's obsolete? What do you do with it? But a 4-time, 4, you can run 2 CMYK, 2 white. You can run 2 white CMYK. You can run the neon. So you can do a lot of configurations with it. And if a head goes bad, you can do it. I know some that were just running it as a 2 head, and they have the other 2 head there, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense, because why did you get a 4 head then? But you also have alignment. So, when you're doing alignment on 2 heads, it's a lot easier than trying to align 4 heads. So it's there. Oh, GPK sent a message. So let's check out the puppy pictures and see what we got there. Maybe. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Messenger. Look at that. What kind of puppies do we got there? Look at the puppies. They're just a few hours old. I love that. Puppies make me smile. Puppies are good. Puppies are good. Nothing's perfect. Nope, nothing's perfect. I want to be Instagram famous. Aren't you though, Rye? You're already Instagram famous. You've got, thousands of followers. You've got vendors that reach out to you that want to, work with you. So you're Instagram famous. Instagram and Facebook Live is Hollywood Magic BS. 1000%. I thought so too, Rye. There's a screen print YouTuber that spends more on videos and photos than he does on screen printing. His word is Hollywood Magic. Is he from Canada? Is that who we're talking about? Let me know, Brian, if we're talking about the same person. But if that's the one that I think it is, I mean, the great thing about that is, look at when you have, the companies reach out to you and say, hey, here's our product, go ahead and use it and let us know what you think of it. Promotional product, here you go. Here you're getting it at nothing. So, when that's the thing, it's the yin and yang. The following, if you have that and you can get offered stuff. Oh, at what time? Oh, I forgot. I have an appointment at 9:30. Holy crap. Corey just told me that I got to go get my toes did. That's how we're making things better today. I'm going to go through and check out video. I'm going to see where everything is. I forgot all about that. We're going to go through it right there at the plasma table. Been down for 3 years because it's just too frustrated with it. Oh, plasma table, man. I totally want one of those. Social media is basically everyone's highlight reel. Yep. She's 5 presses. Yeah, but there's a couple 12x12s, a 15x15, 16x20. But we use the 16x20 most of the other ones we break out when we need to, or when we're going to shows and that. Texas. No. Oh, you have to send me who that guy is. Texas. Who could that be? I wonder. Now I might wonder who it is. Yeah. Corey just came down and told me I got pedicures. So yeah. Friday morning, we're going to try and go live on the way to DAX. Let's see how that plays out. We're going to try and go live. So we'll do that. If anybody wants to chat, hey, chat me up today. I'm installing a print head. We've got some stuff to do in there, but hey, here's my piece, 44 minutes of this. Make sure to I said it's 11:15 there, so I won't be late. Yeah, 9:30, I got to be up there to get it. It's not a normal spot. So you guys have an amazing day. Peace, love, press on. We will see you on Friday for a travel edition of Morning Mindset. See you guys.